What's up, friends? Empress Danny here, and we are getting our extended messages off of today's daily grind. I appreciate those of you who are with me on Patreon. All your support means the world to me. You have no idea. Let's get our messages without further ado. Ace of coins at the bottom of one deck, page of coins at the bottom of another. I do feel some of you are definitely dealing with the energy of money. Some of you are dealing with the energy of connection and what could be like trying to teach others something, trying to, um, this could be like get people to understand you. I don't know why it gives like job and interview, right? They don't know me, right? They don't know you from that. This could be like getting people to understand, trying to get you to understand the way I work. It feels like trying to connect, period, right? Um, and this could be like trying to get to know, trying to teach, right, a skill. This could be like about myself, or I'm trying to learn more about you, or about it could be something that you're doing. Okay. I just feel like that perhaps is at play in some circumstance. Ace of coins and the six of coins. I don't know why I feel like you didn't maybe know this could be like the level of investment. You didn't know there's something about the seeds planted. Okay. I don't know why I feel that very strongly. Um, it feels like there's something that at the time, I don't know why I feel like at the time or at the start of something, you were unaware of either the amount of investment, right? This could be like something costs more, right? That you would have to put more in, more time, more energy, more effort. This could also be that you were unaware of how deeply rooted something is. um, so it could be that you weren't aware of what could be like how much time it would take, what could be like to analyze something, right? To assess something, right? You were unaware of what could be like how challenging something or someone would be. Okay. I do feel like that. Okay. And this could be like returns, right? Seeing gains. I didn't know it would take this long for me to see. I didn't know it would be this hard or this difficult. Um, Again, with frivolity here, there's something again that was maybe again taken for granted, taken lightly. Um, Again, and this could be at the heart, right? This could be in a person's heart, right? I didn't know I would have to do all of this, right? Um, Page of coins. There could be a child with the page of coins and the sun card. This could also be like, keep in mind, childishness, right? So this could be like, I didn't realize I would have to put so much. This could be like, you're so new, right? I don't know why it's kind of giving like green, right? It's kind of like, I didn't realize you didn't know anything about this, right? Um, or you didn't know this at all. So it's almost like I didn't realize I would have to teach you everything. This is kind of like I assumed blah blah blah. There's something. That's what I feel. I feel like there, and I don't see cards for assumption, but and keep in mind this will go different ways in different scenarios. It doesn't have to be assumption at all. This can be like someone maybe assumed that something would take a lot of maybe money or a lot of time, right? A big investment, right? I'm gonna have to put all of this in, right? But this is kind of like that was an assumption, right? With the Seven of Cups, it feels as though there could certainly be, I don't know why, there could certainly be a distortion of some sort. That this could be like a distorted way of thinking. Someone's not seeing things clearly when it comes to this, could even be like their choices, right? That's what it feels like. Someone is looking at something, but the point of view from which they're seeing it with frivolity, there's something that they're either taking for granted or they're taking lightly. And someone could be showing love to that. You're not seeing this clearly, right? That's not the right perspective. You don't get it, right? You're not understanding, right? This is what you're taking for granted, right? And it could be because someone's new, right? Trying to teach them because they're new. So it makes sense, right? If you're dealing with a child or if you're dealing with someone who's new to something, it makes sense that there are things that they're going to see like, oh, that ain't nothing, right? Because of what feels like ignorance is bliss. Okay. So I do feel an energy like, and this could even be like in relationship or partnership. It could be someone does something and they don't see anything wrong with that. You just take that for granted or you take that lightly, but it could be because they're new, right? They're new to you, right? Maybe they're new to, maybe it is like how you feel, right? Maybe it is your energy. I just heard there's also a homie don't play that. So it gives this energy that's like, maybe it is new to like, I don't play that, right? I work differently or I operate differently or I see things differently, okay? This don't have to be bad. This can be a distorted image or point of view of, well, having one of the self is bad, but it could be one of a situation, like thinking maybe it is like, oh my God, I have to do this or da 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 da. And spirit could be saying, why do you look at yourself? Why do you see yourself that way? Man, why you keep taking yourself lightly, right? Why you keep playing yourself, right? Why you keep treating yourself as insignificant? You're not. Why do you view yourself that way? So some of you could be working through that at the top of the day with the love card. Spirit could be having you do something, or someone else could be doing something, and it could certainly be a choice. Like I said, the top of the day is either a questionable choice or it's a choice I feel like that makes clear something is not being, it makes the intentions clear that something is not being taken for granted. With the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, this is like authentic feelings. So if you're not seeing something clear, and this could, let's be very clear, this could be something that you missed, right? It could be something that someone else like distorted, right? They chose, maybe it's like, this could be like they chose to like paint the picture, like give the impression of, okay, but they took it lightly and today they can't. So you're seeing what feels like their real feelings coming out, right? Their real heart coming out, okay? Okay. Also, I don't know why I'm getting like, if there's some sort of catfishing, right? This make me feel like if it could even be like if somebody's doing something. This feels like the energy of like if somebody wears makeup, if the aesthetic made them appealing. I just heard the aesthetic is coming off today. Okay, and it feels as though the real heart of a person, how I don't know why it feels, how they really feel. Okay, if something was taken lightly or taken for granted, how they really feel, it feels like is coming out or into play. Now, this has me questioning why midday we're moving into this 5 of Coins energy. Again, this don't have to be bad. So some of you just need to know with the 5 of Coins, that does not have to be a loss. This could be practicing changing the energy, right? Transmuting, that's what it feels like, transmutation. Practicing transmutation midday. So if there is some sort of distortion at the top of the day, whether I was under the wrong impression or whether they were under the wrong impression, now that that's clear, now that I know how they really feel, and again, I assumed, or now that they know how I really feel, there's some sort of hopefulness, it feels like, for transmuting the energy. And it does feel like this comes through. Again, this is either active listening is going to bring about the change. I heard you, so I'm shifting gears, right? Or what could be like, I told you. So now what could be like, I don't have to do this anymore or do that anymore. Okay. It could be seeing if someone else is listening, right? Seeing what results, right? Seeing, if it hit, that's what it feels like. Here's 2 of Cups. So again, with the 2 of Cups and the 5 of Coins, this is what feels like transmutation in relationship, the way in which I relate to something. If I was at a loss, right? Or if I felt I was at a loss, or maybe that was maybe my assumption or the perspective that I had was being at a loss. If I thought I was an option, right? This makes me feel like energy shifting and relating differently. And so realizing I wasn't seeing that clearly. I'm definitely not an option. I don't know why something feels significant surrounding reliability, trustworthiness. Okay. That's what I feel is at play. And this feels like finding out again how someone really feels. I don't know why I'm getting like some about who they really are, like what feels like the heart of a person is coming through. And this is not to be taken lightly. It's not to be taken for granted. Let me be very clear. If your heart is coming through in something, or if someone else's is, this feels like it's not to be played with, it's not to be taken for granted, it's not to be taken lightly. That's what it feels like. And be very clear in a two-way direction about this. Okay. If spirit shows you someone's heart, because this is giving like if you were living in a fairy tale, delusion. If you were seeing someone or something in a certain way, this could even be an opportunity. Oh, this is a choice for me, but you were seeing it delusional. Spirit is showing you, I feel like, the real heart so that you won't. This is kind of like you can't just overlook this. Okay. This is like you can't just let whatever this is go. You can't just, that's what it feels. It's something like that. And again, bad, also good. I can't just take that for granted that they did that. That's what it feels like. It's something of that nature. Okay. And it feels like something that, and again, so this changes the way you relate. I don't know why it just kind of gives an energy of like with the sun, that's like, if they were selfish, they would never have done whatever this is. I don't know why it's kind of give like they were thinking about me and I was, I don't know why it's kind of giving like I blocked them or like I don't know why it gives like they had my back and I thought they were it feels like there's something of that nature. Okay. Um, but it's helping someone, it feels like, to change. Midday, it feels like it's someone, this doesn't have to be conversation. This can be taking place like in someone's thoughts, where someone's thinking and what feels like as they're, I don't know why it gives like rehearsing or replaying their thoughts. It feels as though spirit is like bringing some things up that I don't know why it feels like hitting refresh, but it feels like clearing old energy that's like, I need to change or I need to let that go or I need to relate to that or to them differently. Okay. And I do get this energy of, I keep hearing active listening. So I do feel like someone's actively listening. If you're speaking, if you're not speaking, spirit is definitely speaking. And it feels like someone is, when you're actively listening, when spirit speaks, you respond based on the actions that you take. And so I feel like midday, spirit is speaking to someone and is telling them they need to relate to something or to someone differently. And it feels like make some sort of a choice that it feels like actively listens to that. Okay. I see the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords is our last card out. So it makes me feel, this feels like when talk about active listeners. These are, but they're also decision makers. So it feels as though someone, because they're actively listening, right? Either to you or to spirit when spirit is speaking. Then on the other side of that, someone who's actively listening is making some sort of change or letting something go. And it feels like that's what's resulting in this letter or this message, email, text, something coming to you by the end of the day, and some sort of decision about a new chapter. Okay, somebody sending a message about a new chapter. Okay, Knight of Coins. Usually when I see him, this is something that someone I feel has thought long and hard about before making whatever this decision is. So this isn't, and it could be because they were worried. I don't know if that's the case. It could be because you were worried, right? Because you were stressed. But this feels like seeing authenticity, also seeing consistency, also someone, again, if we're discerning, we're looking, we're listening, we're observing. It feels like for reliability. Is this kind of like, can you be trusted, right? Digging deeper, right? There's also a sense of like, can I trust what could be like what comes of whatever this is? So if you tell me something, yeah, you could paint a pretty picture. Yeah, you could tell a story, but based on what comes of what you tell me, can I trust that? Someone is looking, they're listening, they're being discerning concerning that, because I don't know why I feel like if this is business, results are important. I can't, yeah, you can make it sound good, but at the end of the day, if I don't see anything, if there's nothing to show for it, then I don't know that that's the right decision. And again, this could be a person or partnership. This is someone who's deciding on a relationship or a way to relate to something. And as this energy is being transmuted, for some of you, this is why I listen to spirit. When spirit shows you something or illuminates something to you, heed, because at the end of the day, when you're willing to do so, I get this energy of like what feels, I don't know, for somebody, there could be significance around being equally yoked. Okay. And that could be the question, right? And if you think about equal yoking, this is in your friendships, it's in your romantic relationships, this is in business, being equally yoked. But if you think about that, sometimes people will give the impression, right? They look like they are, they sound, they know the lingo, right? But yeah, I hear, I don't want to make the same mistakes again. Don't want to fall flat on the face again. So this could be someone who, if I've made a mistake before, I don't want to make that same mistake again. I don't want to live in delusion. I don't want to be under the impression of, or I don't want to see something one way and that not be real or that be fake. I don't want to see this as my big picture as everything and it's actually not, right? It's actually keeping me from my big picture, as I hear cues, ain't no mountain high enough, right? Um, who is that? Marvin Gaye and Tammy. What, I can't remember her name, but there could be said those names could be significant. But that's what this feels like. It's also where if it is and I'm not seeing it, what feels like God challenged me, because you know my heart, you know my desires. So God, whatever it is that I need to do, I don't know why this feels like wanting something to be clear, either you for someone else or someone else for you. I want to be clear. I want you to relate to this in the right way. I want you to relate to me in the right way. And what feels like, I don't know why I get this energy of desperation. So for some of you, that could be the case, right? And I don't get it as like I'm desperate. I get it like, yeah, I hear thirsty for you. Oh. Maybe there is. Sometimes this is like, God, I want, this is, sometimes you're like this in your relationship with God. Like, God, I have tried over and over, and there is no other way. It's no other way. It's no other way. There is no way I could live without him. Um, that's what this feels like. And I'll just use God for an example. You can take it how it applied to a friend, to a relationship, to a job, to a business, to a skill that you're working at. But this is like, God, I want my relationship with you to be so clear. I don't want any issues in my life, right? This can be like, God, I've had a lot of drama. God, I've had a lot of hardship. God, I've been through the struggle. God, I've had no shortage of people who have stabbed me in my back. I've had no shortage of people who have done me wrong. Or I've had people who said that they was friends. I had people who said that they was family. I had people who said that they loved me. Ooh, I love everything about you. I really want to be with you. But then when it came down to it later, I came back and I was in a position where I realized I moved way too fast and I wasn't discerning. I took this for granted. I took that for granted. I let that slide. I saw all the red flags. And that's what this feels like. And sometimes you get to a point in your life where you say, God, when I look at my life based on my past, right? My heart sees all the red flags that have been, God, I don't want to miss the green ones. God, I don't want to miss the green flags. For seeing all the red ones, for seeing all the things that I need to let go of. And sometimes that's what the Holy Spirit will show you. So some of y'all really take some time. And with the sun here, this could be a day where it's all about you, where Spirit is saying, look in the mirror, look at yourself. Take some time to reflect on you, who you are, the choices that you're making. Are you taking you for granted? Are you taking others for granted? When you make your choices, is it clear who you are based on who you're being? Based on the decisions that you're making? And sometimes we don't realize that because we've lived a life full of delusion. And we've lived our whole lives unknowingly making choices that benefit others, that help them to see the sun. Meanwhile, neglecting our own sonship, our own oneness with God, and not doing, forsaking, taking for granted, treating as fruitless the things that God has actually called us to do. Today feels like an opportunity to say, God, if that's been me, and I've taken for granted the things that are for me to do, in exchange for doing for others, if I've taken for granted the things that my soul has been given the charge to do, that my path has been enlightened to do, if for some reason my choices brushed those off or treated those as insignificant, I take this opportunity today to realign myself with the heart of love that chooses the sun. That chooses to be true to this heart that you've given me, the purity therein. And despite what might be challenging, it's only a challenge to love with your heart. And when we think about that, even in the question of God, I love Lucky because we have these conversations. We have these conversations about God that very few people that I can have them with. I can have them with Lucky. But I think about, sometimes we say, who is God? What is God, right? And I think it's by design that we can't define who God is, right? Too big, right? We don't have enough words, right? Our poverty of words, right? Vocabulary, the alphabet, right? I don't know enough language to really be able to properly articulate who God is. And I can't take that lightly, right? If we try to surmise who God is, then We will treat aspects of God as insignificant when they matter, when they're important. God, I don't want to treat. And sometimes look at yourself. If I was talking to one of you and I said, I love you and I don't want to treat you like there's any fiber of your being that's insignificant. I don't I don't want you to feel, and sometimes this is where we're experiencing some challenges, but our desire is to show authentic love. I just heard embrace. I don't know why I feel like that could be at play as well. So for some of you, be mindful. Someone could be challenged, right? They could have a heart to show love or want to do something to show you love. And that may not be clear. So they may be saying, oh God, please don't take for granted. Please don't assume that don't think that I take you lightly, or don't think that I take this lightly. Okay. I feel an energy that's like that. But in our relationship with God, if we say, if my choices are not clear, I don't know why it just kind of feel like a if then. God, if my choices are not clear, show me the sun. Show me very, very clearly. Reveal. Make it known to me so that I don't take for granted your love, your heart. Okay? What's at the heart, or your intentions, your will, and whatever this is. Okay? There's something like that at the top of the day. And this feels like midday. There's a hope, I feel, that you think when you pray that prayer, or if that's your desire, right, in any given situation, even if it's like, don't take me lightly, okay? Because sometimes you have situations in life where that's the message you have to send to someone. You doing this, like, you're not going to take me for granted, right? Showing yourself love. There's a hope then midday that is the communication. That's the message, whether it's by demonstration and action taken. That's the message. I hope that message brings about change, okay? And if someone is sending one to you, there's a hope that the message will bring about change. And it feels as though for some of you, this could certainly be what you needed to do in order to energetically shift, because there is a shift taking place. So some of you, there's a shift taking place in some sort of relationship dynamic, the way in which you're relating to something. And I feel whatever this is, midday is going to show you, it's going to make known or to reveal to you. I feel like it's going to either say hit refresh, right? Listen a little bit more closely to change, right? It feels as though listen very clearly. I feel like it's going to show you something very clearly. Either what's showing you is going to be refreshing because it's giving you the hopefulness, it's giving you a sense of hope that you're relating to something or someone in the appropriate way, or it is going to show you very clearly that you're not relating to something or someone in the appropriate way. And it's going to allow you the opportunity, it feels like, to hear more clearly so that you will relate appropriately. And that's where it feels like this end of the day decision comes in. And for some of you, that is where I feel this is refreshing, because it feels as though this is a result of what feels like active listening. And the results of active listening, not worry, getting the message or giving the message, this just feels like is a testament to discernment. You, whoever you're dealing with, and in actual interpersonal relationships, it feels like this is showing you where you have relationships where you're mutually discerning between you and between another or others. Where if you're speaking, they're actively listening. Where if they're speaking, you're actively listening. That's what I feel like this is. This is results that are proof And you're either showing someone you don't have to worry. This is a new chapter. I get the message. Or they're showing you don't have to worry. This is a new chapter. I get the message. Okay. And they're showing you results. And like I said, this is coming through. It feels like in the way of something, it feels tangible, but it's helping somebody to let go and let go of whatever is the distorted image. Guys, that is what I have for you. There are no major arcana aside from seeing the sun at the bottom of this deck, which I don't mind, right? A little Leo action. Leo is fifth house, right? Fun, does real fun, but also relationships and that romance. So we shall see. That's what I have for you. I love you and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.